How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the vlog. So I finally got in my Furibee F36 quadcopters. I'm really anxious in digging into this to see if it really outperforms the predecessor, the JJRC H36 or Eachine 010. I can't remember what the other names of this were, but from what guys are saying that have already gotten these, that this thing seems to have a little bit more power, and I really want to test it and see if that's true. You know, I like to do in-depth reviews on the products that I get from different manufacturers, because what I find is that even on some sites like Amazon, it'll give you a very vague or brief description of what you get and what features it comes with. And I want you guys to kind of know what you're getting before you buy it. So let's do a quick comparison to see if there's any difference in size. And it looks like they are the same size, with the exception of the canopy on the F36 Furibee being a little bit wider. Props look to be the same. The only thing that I'm seeing different right now, and I don't know if this will pick up on camera, is if you look inside those ducts, the support braces on this one are flat. And if you look inside these ducts, the support braces seem to be angled, or on a, I don't know what the angle will be, but on an angle. So I don't know if that helps performance or if that's something that's just aesthetics to make it look better. If we flip it over and look at the bottom, I've done some modification to this where I kind of soldered a lead on this to use the Tiny Whoop 200 milliamp longer batteries, but they look to be about the same. The only difference that I can see right now is this one for motors has different color cables for clockwise and counterclockwise motors, and this one seems to have different color bases. So you got a blue base here, and actually the wires are different too. So again, I'm hoping that this actually has those better motors in it. One of the advantages of this is, if it does have the better motors in it, is that now you're getting the whole quadcopter for the cost of what the upgrade motors for this would be. And all you got to do is pop this canopy off and put an FPV camera on it, and you have yourself a little Tiny Whoop there. And you don't have to go out and buy a Blade Inductrix for what do they run, like $70, $80. And I know the Tiny Whoop guys out there are doing a lot of modifications to it, and making it, you know, kind of customized. Like I said, I've seen a pop-off canopy for this that you kind of put another canopy on and put a little tiny FPV camera on there. You might have to do, actually, I think they have a wide lead to kind of wire off the power, and I will recommend, if you do that, using the 200 milliamp battery. This came with a little 150 milliamp battery. And I'm usually getting like 3 minutes of flight out of that. But with the 200 milliamp batteries, I get, I guess, close to 7 minutes of flight. No greater than 5, but maybe closer to 7 minutes of flight. So hopefully that helps. Controller-wise, it comes with a standard little toy grade controller. From what I read in the instructions, it's a little bit different from this one. If you already have one of these and you already have one of these controllers, it's a little bit different, and they all vary on the way they work. This feels a lot heavier, a lot of more solid, but this one also has 2 AA batteries in it. This one has 3 AAA batteries, but it's just got a bigger, bulkier feel to it. And I don't know if this is picking up on camera because of everything that's going on in the background. See if I can get it this way. It's gonna block everything else out. But this controller is a lot thicker. Just feels like it feels sort of like a wiffle ball bat almost. I don't know if you guys know what a wiffle ball bat is, but it feels like a wiffle ball bat in construction. It's solid, but it just feels plasticky and bulkier, thicker. For some reason my camera isn't focusing anymore, so give me a second here. Okay, so maybe it is focusing. Maybe it's just the white that it looks like it's not in focus. With this one, the operation of the switches are, you got press switches on this, you got press toggles. I don't really like press toggles, because when you're trying to control the throttle and you're trying to press down on it, you're doing this at the same time. I don't like press toggles. I would much rather have something like this that has the push buttons on the top. For this one, if you press the throttle stick, it returns to home. And if you press this button, it puts it in different rates. On this one, it's a little bit differently. This puts it in different rates. This puts it in heading hold or heading lock and return to home by whichever side of this you press. And this button does flips, if I'm not mistaken. I rarely do flips, but that's the flip button. It does have trims for your pitch and roll. And it has LED indicators. Now, I don't know what this thing does. I don't have a battery with me. I don't know what this button does, but when I turned it on and I hit this and then I hit this button, I don't think it does anything, to be honest with you. So I think that flashing is just it want to bind with the quad itself. But this maybe just be a dummy button for some reason. I don't know why it's there. It has no, usually when you get these, and this is another thing, when you get these import tech items, a lot of times the instructions might as well be in Chinese because they're very roughly translated from Chinese to English. And they miss out on some things sometimes, and you kind of got to just figure it out. I've heard of guys get stuff like this from vendors that didn't have any instructions at all, and you just kind of figure it out. But this is pretty much basic, cut and dry. I didn't see anything in the instructions that told me what this thing was for. Feels like it has a little bit of a springy feedback to it, so I thought it was a button, but it doesn't show anything in the instructions of it having any functions. So let's get it up in the air and give it a test flight. I'm going to use the 150 milliamp battery and see how it performs. And then, like I said, I'll give you my honest opinion on whether or not it is actually more powerful than the predecessor H36. Let's get it up in the air and check it out. Let's turn that off. Turn it back on. Flashing lights. So not sure why, but it just didn't bind like it normally would on the 36. But so it was already bound when I first turned it on, instead of doing the up down bind thing that you normally do. So let's see. First test through 6-axis stabilization with the H36. I could just throw this thing and it would catch itself and start flying. So let's give it a toss. It caught itself, and I can tell you right now, the way that it powered out of that with this little 180 battery, it does have more powerful motors in it. Okay, right now the rates are really, I'm going to get this out in front of me. The rates are at novice mode, but it has faster rates, but they are very, I guess the endpoints are kind of short. So I'm banging this back and forth. I don't know if you can see that. I'll get it up here. I'm banging this to the top and bottom of the controller, and look how fast it moves in novice mode, but look how shallow the pitch is. Like, it doesn't really pitch that much, so I guess that's what helps it keep its I guess novice easy to fly rates. It doesn't pitch that far. You definitely probably wouldn't be able to do any funnels with that low amount of pitch. So I need to try something real quick here. Okay, now I'm in flip mode, I believe. Whoa, it flips pretty fast. Okay, so that leaves this button for, one of them's rates and one of them's heading lock. Let's do that. Okay, so that's the rates. It's a lot faster now. And this thing does have some power, guys. It's moving. Look how fast it does this. Way faster than the H36. So yeah, it must have the upgraded motors in it. Pirouette's a lot faster off this little 150 milliamp battery. It's got way more power than the H36, I think, even with a 200 milliamp battery in it. So I would only imagine what this thing can do with the 2 milliamp battery in it, and that is the next test. So let's get into, let's deal with some funnels. Look how fast it goes into those funnels. It bails out with the 150 battery. Whoa. Yeah, it's just faster than I expected it to be, guys. So it kind of got away from me. Okay, yeah, it's definitely got more power than the H36. It performed almost as good as this one does in low rate mode. And I got a lot of power out of that 150 milliamp battery. I mean, I didn't expect this thing to have that type of agility with the smaller battery, because I actually had to put the bigger battery in this to get that type of agility out of it, the 200 milliamp battery. And another thing, I can tell that this is it actually has upgraded motors in it, because it actually warmed that battery up. So the battery was a little bit warm to touch, where with the old H36, it barely got warm. I couldn't feel any heat coming off of it at all. So, yeah, this is definitely a better quadcopter, and it is a better candidate than the previous one. Now you don't have to put the upgrade motors in it. I mean, you might have to buy new motors to replace it, but to be honest with you, if you can get them for $13 like I did, the motors themselves cost about $20 online for four. I mean, I went on eBay and found, I guess from overseas, I found, I guess it was 16 motors, four sets for $20. So that's a better deal. But locally, most vendors are selling them for about four for about $20. One thing I forgot to show you what came in the box. It came with 4 extra propellers. Came with this little screwdriver, and that's to undo the screw, which I took out and didn't put back in. I don't know why they have a screw that locks that door in, but you don't really need it. It kind of snaps in with this little clasp here. And it came with a USB charger to get your batteries charged up. So that's it, guys. That's the Furibee F36. Nice little toy. It's just bumped the H36 and retired it because it has better performance, better flight characteristics. It's fast, it's snappy. I mean, I now have to go and kind of get used to this because I've been kind of spoiled and flying this little tame guy around. But hope you enjoyed the review. Again, this is one of my giveaway items, so please leave a comment if you want to be enrolled in that, and subscribe to the page, and I will keep you up to date on when we're giving it away. Thanks for watching Big Ball Vlogs. Talk to you later. Bye.